I'm so passionate about music. I've always known that it's what I want to do. I really found out the same time that the world found out. Representing Cyprus in the Eurovision isn't the only time I'm going to be representing Cyprus. I've been representing, like, I represent Cyprus every single day. What a dream that would be to be able to bring the Eurovision to Cyprus.
Antigoni, huge congratulations on representing Cyprus at Eurovision. I mean, that smile of yours
Oh, thank
says it
you.
all.
Honestly, Paul, I'm so emotional. I cried my way to the gym this morning. I was driving. I literally was
And
crying
you
my eyes
probably
out.
haven't
Like, just
slept at all,
I barely
today.
slept. I had so much adrenaline, and then I woke up at 6 in the morning. I couldn't even think about going back to sleep because I realized, oh my God, it wasn't a dream. It was true.
I
But you
want
know
you to
what?
take us. I know there's so much I want to just get into this
Yeah.
interview with you because it's obviously your first interview, and we're talking about the Eurovision, and we're going to profile you as an artist because a lot of people know who you are. There's a lot of people that don't know who you are. So we just want to set the record straight. Now I want to take
Uh-huh.
it back to. First of all, I'm gonna ask you a question about that moment when you got the call that said, Antigoni, we want you to represent Cyprus at the Eurovision Song Contest. Where were you? What was the reaction? Did everybody hear the screams? Take us to that moment.
Okay, so I was in Soho in London. I was in the Aim Leon Dore store, and there's a cafe. It's a clothing brand, which is actually Greek owned.
Right.
And I was in there because I know that they do Greek drinks. And I was sitting there pondering about whether I should get a little Rodakino or a Freddo Cappuccino. I ordered my Freddo Cappuccino. Ξαφνικά I get a phone call from Minos EMI. Γεια σου, τι κάνετε, είστε καλά? Είμαστε πολύ καλά, Αντιγόνη. Πάμε Eurovision. I was like, are you serious? I was like, are you serious? I started crying. I started jumping. I started freaking out. Everyone must have thought I was crazy. Everyone must have thought I was insane. And then I just went outside, and then my phone just started. Then I get a call from Rick straight after from the wonderful team at Rick, saying that I've been chosen and congratulating me. And in the same moment, I got the request on Instagram for the collaboration post. So I really found out the same time that the world found out. So my sister was calling me. My best friends were calling me. Like, is this real? Is this real? Like, because there's all these rumors and whatever. So everyone's going, is this true? Is this true? So then back to back, I'm just FaceTiming all my friends and everyone. And then I realized, oh my God, my mum, who is my mum, Paul, she's like my
The
number one fan.
backbone.
She's amazing. And she's on the plane on the way to Cyprus. So I was like, oh my God, my mum doesn't know. And she's not going to know for another 3 hours because she'd
And she
only
was
just
the
taken
last
off.
to know, actually.
She was like the last to know, and I really was like, I wanted to make sure that I told her. So when I was like tracking her flight, so I knew like when she was roughly gonna be landing. I was watching for when the double tick came that my message delivered, so I could FaceTime her straight away. And she was on the plane, and she was like, "I can't speak. We've just landed. Like I shouldn't be on my phone." And I was like, "Mama, we got Eurovision," and she was like, I've been manifesting that this whole flight. She was like, I knew, like I knew it was gonna happen, and she was so happy. So.
I mean, it
And the
almost
funny
played
part,
out like a proper movie, and I can just see
it
the
did,
script and
yeah.
the scenario.
Exactly. And when I told Rick, I said to them, my mum doesn't even know she's on the plane. And they were like, oh, where's she going? I said, Cyprus. And they said, okay, maybe we'll send a camera crew to greet her. So I think they did. And they got her
Fantastic.
reaction. And even my dad got really emotional. And my dad is not really like one to show emotion like that. He wouldn't come on the FaceTime because he was tearful. And it's just they're so proud of me. And I'm so lucky to have that support. And yeah, it was crazy. But the funny thing is as well, in the cafe that I was, I know the owner of the brand. So I called him to say, guess what? I was in your store when I found out I'm doing Eurovision. And he goes, send me the time that you were there and I'll get
All
the
right.
CCTV footage. So I'm waiting to see that because that
Well,
would
I
be
think
really
they owe
funny.
you coffee for life now.
Yeah, they do. They look after me anyway.
Well,
So
I just wanted to say, obviously, from the one end, the minute I heard the announcement, I was very nonchalant because it was well deserved.
thank you. Thank
Finally,
you.
we've got the right person for Eurovision. I know that you've been advocating and preaching to be part of Eurovision, but your selection as well didn't come as a shock to me because you've earned your right to be there. And I just wanted
Thank
to
you
say
so much.
congratulations. I mean, from that moment when I first met you in Larnaca at your Yaya's house, and by the way,
Yeah.
side note, I think the most poignant post was the one that you put with your Yaya and your Bapu, and
I
their
know. Oh,
reaction.
So cute.
I
They
think
were
that was
so
that was
happy.
the only post that resonated with me, apart from the
Oh.
million, wow and congratulations and about time. I think, what resonates with me most is that you're also a Cypriot of the diaspora. And that I feel is very important because, as we all know, the Cypriots of the diaspora are brand ambassadors. They promote Cyprus. But apart from all that, and we'll touch on your Cypriot and British roots, I want to go back to that moment when I first interviewed you for Culturescope, when you said to me, I asked you, what's your dream and where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now? And you said, I want to be on that Eurovision stage. Fast forward, I actually looked at the interview, it was 5 years ago. And fast
Wow.
forward 5 years later, Antigoni's about to prepare for the biggest performance of her career. But I also
That's
want people to
unbelievable.
know that because we follow your career, we know who you are. We had the
Hmm.
privilege of also welcoming you to the forum this year, where you basically nailed that tribute to George Michael,
Thank
who
you.
received a posthumous award, obviously. But the Cypriots of the diaspora embraced you. They knew that if Antigoni doesn't get chosen, there probably would have been a protest outside Rick. But we love Rick, so we move on. Um, I want to take us back. First of all, you have a beautiful voice, a very unique
Thank
voice,
you.
and very croaky, but sometimes passionate. And you can almost feel the journey that Antigoni has, taken to get to this point. And it's a journey that you've taken on your own. I mean, I know some people say maybe you're Tanya's daughter or whatever the case is, but I'm also Mario and Leah's son. But that does, you took that path on your own and you carved it
Yeah.
on your own. Yes, you've had great support. We've all been cheering you along the way, but you've carved your own identity. And I'm so glad that you got this
Thank you.
merit on your own. Tell us now,
Thank you.
Cypriot and British roots, powering the stage with Mastora, with Marina Sati. You've gone crazy the last few months. Tell us all about that. And now
Yeah, I mean,
Eurovision.
pardon?
And now Eurovision as
And
well.
now Eurovision, yeah, I know. I mean, look, the thing is, I signed my first publishing deal when I was 14 years old, Paul.
Yeah.
That was 15 years ago. I'm not, God willing, this journey takes me to all my dreams and lets me really have the opportunity to have a wonderful music career, which is what I've always dreamt of. This isn't an overnight success when it happens. I'm so passionate about music. I've always known that it's what I want to do. There's a clip, you would have seen it of me with Anna Vissi when I was 7 years old, and she said, Τι θέλεις να γίνεις όταν μεγαλώσεις? Και εγώ είπα, θα είμαι τραγουδίστρια. Because I knew that singing and music is what I would always do. And it's been a roller coaster. I signed this
Mm.
publishing deal, nothing happened. I signed a record deal with Island Records. I was signed by the same guy who signed Amy Winehouse. I thought, this is it now. I was 18 and, naive and excited and it's an up and down journey, and it's been difficult at times, but I'm so grateful for the journey because absolutely 18-year-old Antigoni would have loved to go for Eurovision. She really would have, but would she have been ready? That's another question.
Yeah.
I don't think I probably would have been. I feel so ready for this now. I feel like I belong here, like I belong doing this. I feel like it was meant for me. I feel like the stars aligned, and it is the time that I should be doing this. And I'm grateful for the journey. I'm grateful for the patience that it's taught me. I'm grateful for the humility that it's taught me because, you can be talented, you can work hard. It doesn't mean things are going to happen.
Mm.
And I feel like I am very confident and strong in my, knowing that I've done the work to get here and that representing Cyprus in the Eurovision isn't the only time I'm going to be representing Cyprus. I've been representing, like, I represent Cyprus every single day. Anything I do, even when I went on a reality TV show, the first thing I said was, Hi everyone, I'm Antigoni, I'm Greek Cypriot, and I'm a singer. Because that is part of my identity, it's part of who I am. So many people don't know about the history of Cyprus. So people don't even know that Cyprus exists or that it's an independent country. So for me, I'm always teaching people about Cyprus. I put Cypriot sounds and Greek like vibes and bouzouki and this feeling and passion that we have in our music in every single one of my songs. So this isn't like, cool, I'll do Eurovision and I'll be a bit Cypriot for Eurovision. No, no, no. Like this is just who I am. Like this is why I knew that at some point getting to that stage made sense, because
But
it's what I'm
I
doing every
think
day
you've
anyway,
proven
and now I
yourself
just
in
get
that
to do
area
it to the
because
biggest
wherever
platform.
we
And
go and
I
every
just want to
performance
shout
that I
about
can see, I mean,
Cyprus.
go
Like
onto
we
YouTube,
I
go
look at Dua
onto
Lipa,
your
you know, who's
Instagram
someone I
post,
think is
etc.
absolutely
There's
so
always that
inspirational, such an
Cypriot
amazing
flag
artist. And
that
so many
one
people
way or
didn't know
another it
Kosovo
makes its way
before.
onto
My
the
best friend is
stage. And I know
Kosovan.
some people might
And what
say,
Dua has
well,
done
you
for
know,
her
the
small
Cypriot flag,
country is
but it's very
phenomenal.
much a
And
part
she's
of who
made
you are. And I
Kosovo a
believe
household
Totally.
name, and she
the
does amazing
rumor
stuff.
And
And
it's
has.
fun. Like those
my dream
Cypriot
is to do that
songs
for
are the
Cyprus.
most fun that I
I
have
Of
want to
course they
played.
shout
are. I
about
mean,
Cyprus,
Sometimes
bring
more
it,
than my
create
own
events in
songs.
Cyprus,
That
create
moment where, I had a
hype
few
and
people, I had a
do
few kind of
shows
comments
and
and messages being
festivals, and
like,
like
nobody
nobody
wants
wants to
to
hear
hear
these
these
old
old
songs.
songs.
Like
Like
the
the
kids
even
don't want to
further
hear
than
the
Yadi Yadi
Eurovision.
Yan.
It's all
And I'm
about
like, I think
putting
you're wrong
Kibros
because
at
everybody
the
was
front.
loving it.
I think it's lovely, especially coming from someone so young and vibrant and energetic, who's, you know, passionate about their Cypriot identity, and to bring that back. And it's nice that the younger generation get to, you know, to familiarize themselves with Cypriotness. There's just something so beautiful about our culture.
Yeah,
And I think the
exactly.
performances in the past on the Eurovision stage have been phenomenal. I think Cyprus has really been sending
Of
good
course.
stuff out there. But I do like the traditional
Amazing. Yeah,
twist that you're going to bring to it. So, you know, as soon as you know, we want to know too, but obviously that'll come in due time.
absolutely.
Now, obviously, representing Cyprus, it's a big thing. You're going to go onto a stage with millions of viewers, and I don't know even how many more on watching on television. What's the first thing you're going to say to them about Cyprus when they ask you in those little side interviews? They say, you know, tell us about Cyprus. What's that
Oh,
one word that defines Cyprus for you?
look, for me, the word that I go to is home, but obviously that means vague. But I feel so at home at Cyprus. It's the place that it's that warmth, you know, it's certain feelings that bring me to Cyprus. You know, from young, I remember being that you know, that feeling when you step off the plane and that the humidity hits you
Yes.
in the most beautiful way. That is one of the, you know, the what's the word, sensory things about Cyprus. It's the smells, you know, it's the pine in Lithrodonda, there's the smells. It's the food. I mean, the food. We could talk
Oh,
about the
yeah.
food all day. You know, my mum obviously is big in food, so that's always been a big part of it. It's family. It's, you know, it for me, when I think about Cyprus, I just think about my summers, I think about my grandparents, I think about my cousins, and you know, there's so many, like we have things that are just ours that are global, like that people don't even realize. Like halloumi. I saw a friend of mine, Eddie, who does a lot of stuff about Cyprus, and he was in, I think, Bali, and they had halloumi, and he went and asked everybody, "Do you know where this is from?" And everyone was like,
I saw that. Yeah.
America." Yeah, you saw it, yeah. And it's like, you know, so they don't realize halloumi, like the best cheese ever, is from Cyprus, our little island. And that's something that I want to, like, you know, I'm going to tell people about halloumi. I'm going to tell people about, oh, I've got it here. You know, the rose water that my family, my cousins make in Cyprus, and this smell, the smell of the roses, the smell of the eglisia, because we would always gather as a family on my great baptism every year in August, and that was a very poignant memory for me. So the smell of the eglisia, and it's just food, and one of the things that it always centers around is, of course, music.
Yeah.
You know, you don't it's very hard to escape music when you're in Cyprus. You go to taverna, there's somebody playing a bouzouki and singing, and it's very normal for someone in the restaurant to get up and sing. You know, I can't go into a taverna now without jumping up and singing, because you know, I'm thankful that I've got to know people and they know me, and they're like, ah, Antigoni, se τραγουδίστρια, έλα, τραγούδα μαζί μας. And I love that about our culture. It's so open, it's that philoxenia, it's that welcoming thing. And I think that, you know, the key things that I'd want to share about Cyprus are the things that resonate with me, which is the food, the music, the family, the ethos. Um, yeah, and the thalassa,
Oh,
because
wow.
that's my favorite thing in the world.
There's so much energy, and that's what I like about you, the energy that you bring to the table. Excuse the pun, but I mean, talking about food, but the energy that
Yeah.
you're also going to bring to the stage. Obviously, you have in mind the idea or the type of song that you want to present with good dance moves, I assume, and that, you know, I mean, what are those key elements that you're looking for, apart from the song, you know, having a bit of a Cypriot color?
Mm.
To put out there. that will just say, this is Antigoni, this is who she is, this is what she represents, and and this is our culture and the vibrancy of that culture.
Yeah, for me, I think that what I would like for the song, because nothing is certain, but I can just tell you what I would like and what I would envision. I would love to have a moment at least that really shows my voice, because I think I have a unique voice, love it or hate it, you're gonna know that it's me. So I'd like to, show my voice. I'd like to have the opportunity to dance. I want everyone to be partying. Everybody knows about big fat Greek weddings and big fat Cypriot weddings. They know that Greeks can party. So I think it's only right to get everybody in that feeling and everybody just up on their feet and they can't help but dance and enjoy it. So I think, that combination of showing, what I can do vocally and also getting the party going and dancing. And yeah, I've been dancing around with my headphones on with different songs over the years. Yeah, I've been, in my bathroom, like first thing in the morning, like dancing around, like in my mirror, like I'm always like kind of envisioning and have it always changes and flows, but I'm slowly, coming together with a vision of what I'd really, really like.
Now, I'm sure you're going to get this question from a million other people, and they're going to ask you which past Eurovision performance is your favorite. And I'm going to put you in a spot where I'm going to tell you you're not allowed to pick a Cypriot one. You have to pick a
Okay, fine, but that's
non-Cypriot one.
easy. That's easy.
Okay, because I mean, we can reference all the Cypriot ones, and we know everybody's got their favorite. What is yours apart from the Cypriot?
My number one, Elena Barbarizou, that was Greek.
Okay, you caught me there. I should have said also non-Greek as well.
uh, Also non-Greek as well. Oh, it's so hard because there's so many that I really, really love. But Tattoo most recently really stood out for me. I really that for me was a performance that really moved me and a song that really moved me. I can't say my all-time favorite. If you ask me on a different day, I'm going to answer differently. But Goosebumps vocally, that was one performance that really stood out to me. And also Sam Ryder when he did it for the UK was phenomenal too.
Things, as you said, work out differently. Now the stars are aligned.
For
Antigone is
sure.
ready. And I remember the advice that you also gave to a young aspiring artist at the Cyprus Diaspora Forum this year, that, when you know you're ready, you're ready. And,
Mm,
I think also the younger generation want things done instantly, and they're not prepared to put in the time, or even they are
mhm.
putting in the time, but they want instant results because that's the type of fast-paced world we live in.
Yeah.
Your journey hasn't been fast-paced.
No, and trust me, I'm that person that wanted everything to happen yesterday. I'm impatient, I'm tenacious, and I'm pushy. But I've learned so much patience. I've learned to trust. I've really learned to have faith as well, because there's so many things now that I look at that I thought were, but unlucky that I now look at and I'm like, actually that was really lucky, and I'm going for Eurovision 2026. So everything that's happened up until now was meant to lead to this moment.
And
You know,
hopefully
it,
you can bring it to Cyprus in 2027.
listen, I'm going, if I'm going to try and win. I'm not there to do it any half-heartedly. What a dream that would be to be able to
Wow.
bring the Eurovision to Cyprus the next year. I mean, God, nothing would make me more
I think,
proud. And
and
that's my goal.
I know, I wanted to just say this, because at the end of the day, the industry that you're in, you have to have also the PR persona, behind the scenes. You have to know how to market yourself. And obviously here it's a situation where you not only have to market yourself as an artist, but you also have to market your country. And that's why I
Yeah.
asked them, what would you say about Cyprus? Um, and I think the general public doesn't realize the weight that's on your shoulders right now. Um,
No, totally. Yeah. I mean, and I always think about this, when, like I mentioned before, about going on a reality TV show, in the back of my mind was always, I'm representing Cyprus here. Like I am the first Cypriot person to go on a show like this and say, hi, I'm Antigoni, I'm Cypriot. There was no way I was going to go and do anything embarrassing, because it's really important to me to represent Cyprus in a really beautiful way, in a really wholesome way, in a really true way. And one of my biggest, things that make me very happy is when people come to me and they say, oh, like we loved you on that show and you really represented Cyprus well. Or, parents say to me, if you were my daughter, I would have been happy with how you carried yourself and things like that. And that really is a thing. Our community is really important to me. And also my family too, but as a bigger thing, representing Cyprus in the way that I feel is going to make them proud is really, really something that I don't take lightly. I take it as a very important responsibility and something that I'm, very conscious of.
So what's the next stage now? I mean, take us through it. You've been selected. Everybody's going crazy. Obviously, I pushed in to get my turn to get an interview with you.
Oh, you're always going to get in
But
there, one of the first people I speak to, because you've had my back and you've been supporting me for so many years, and I really, really do appreciate that.
I
And
know, but we love
I've
you.
been trying. I've been trying to get meetings at Rick for years. I've been trying to speak to people, and like I think a lot of people think, oh, yeah, well, your mum works with Rick. Can't you just, my
It
mum
doesn't work
tried
that way.
too, trust me. My mum was knocking on every door she could. Can you help Antigoni? Can you get us a meeting? Couldn't get anything. We couldn't even get a, like I said, my mum was the last to find out. So, of course, it's just been a journey. And I think the process now is to make sure that I am very well prepared, get in the studio, write many, many songs, listen to as many, many songs as we can. And as a team with Rick and with Minos, find the best possible song to get Cyprus that win that we are all
Excellent.
dreaming of
So
this
I,
year.
I was about to message my whole entire database last night of Cypriots around the world to tell them, yay, Antigoni's been chosen. But they reached out to me before I could get to them, and they
Oh
were
my
so
God.
excited to have met you and to have seen you perform
Oh, I
at
love
the
that.
forum this year. And I think they felt so connected with you that it's only fitting that you've got a huge fan base now. And I think
Thank you.
even you've got your lovers and your haters in every industry and sector. Okay. I don't like using the word hate because obviously people nowadays are very quick to judge without having heard the back end story and the fight for someone to get out there. I keep saying
Yeah.
then in Etihel, it's not pure
Mm.
luck. It's hard
No.
work, it's perseverance. What would you
Yeah.
tell now that aspiring young Antigoni 10, 15 years ago, because there are a lot of people, younger generation
Honestly,
like
yeah,
you
it's like
thinking,
if somebody said to me now, how can I get the Eurovision? I still don't know the answer because I got the call and got told that I got it just like that. But I believe that it's through the passion and the authenticity that this has happened. Anybody who knows me or anybody who's been following me for a long time or for a short time will see my passion for Cyprus.
right,
Will see that I'm proud of my roots, and this has happened because of my love for our beautiful tiny island. And I do believe that that's why. Because I think, listen, there's so many amazing, talented singers, dancers, who will go and do a great job, but you can't fake it to have, to really, really love where you're from and really, really want to shout about that. And I think that my advice to anybody would be true to yourself,
yeah,
be authentic, and keep your blinkers on. Don't look left and right. Don't look at what other people are doing. Just do what you do best, and then the right opportunities are going to come to you. Because I think since I've relinquished that need for control and that chasing mentality, the right things have come to me and the wrong things have avoided me. And I think that is it's advice that I probably 10 years ago wouldn't have been able to take it if I tried, because I was too excited, too energetic, and too, but it was a lesson that came over time. So that would be my advice.
that's incredible. Antigone, we wish you every bit of success. You've already won it in our eyes.
Thank you so much. I really, really am so grateful. I can't wait. I'm going to do my very best to make you guys proud.